2021 was a big year in a lot of different ways. You know, we started the year in lockdown. It looks like we might be ending the year in lockdown, depending on what happens over the next few days. But a lot still happened in the photographic industry. We had huge releases, loads of them, to be honest, cameras, lenses, all kinds of different things. And even within Par cameras, you know, we did loads of reviews here on the YouTube channel. We did loads of tutorials. You can check out Tutorial Tuesday. You can check out all kinds of stuff. Our Christmas content advent calendar is full of different tutorials. But we also celebrated our 50th year as a business, which is a big, big deal. In fact, we have a history of Par cameras video you can check out. I'll pop a link in the description. You can go read about it on our blog as well. And we transitioned to an employee-owned business, which is also a big, big deal. And again, you can go read it on our blog. I'll pop a link down in the description so you can go and check that out as well. But let's talk about some of these big releases. Let's talk about some of the things that happened this year. Let's talk about cameras to begin with. Now, we started the year with the Fujifilm Gfx100S, which is an awesome camera, to be honest. Fujifilm took the Gfx100, which was already an amazing camera. They made it smaller, they made it lighter, they made it cheaper and easier to use. Now, that is a fantastic achievement to be able to do that. And I really, really enjoyed using that camera. You know, being smaller, being lighter, it's easier to take it out and about, but you've still got 100 megapixels to play with, which is always going to be a really fun time. And the quality there is amazing. But that wasn't the only camera at the beginning of the year. We also had the Sony A1, which frankly was an absolutely amazing hybrid camera. What a beast of a camera, right? So you could do reliably, you could do professional landscape, portrait, studio work. You got nice high resolution there, but then you could do professional sport, wildlife, you know, because of the speed of that camera. And then you could do professional video stuff because of the specs there. That was an amazing, amazing camera. But of course, that wasn't the only camera Sony released this year. We had things like the FX3, which is obviously a dedicated cine camera. We had things like the ZV-E10, a follow-up to the ZV-1 from last year, which is a great vlogging system and actually at this point, a great all-rounder kind of content creation system. But we also have the Sony A7 IV. Now, I shoot almost all of the videos for this channel on my A7 III. I'm shooting on that right now. The A7 IV for me, probably one of the most exciting cameras of the year. That's probably the one that excites me the most because it's realistically the camera I will upgrade to. You know, it's generally regarded as the basic model in Sony's range, which I think is, you know, almost a bit tongue-in-cheek, to be honest, but I get it. It's the kind of basic model compared to the other ones which specialize a bit more in different areas. But it is an amazing camera and you can absolutely get professional results, photo or video, with that camera. And I cannot wait to get my hands on it again to do more stuff with it. But Sony wasn't the only company bringing out the big guns. We had Canon coming out with the R3, which, this was a big old release and it was teased pretty much all year with new info dropping here and there. That camera is amazing. You know, whether you're doing sport, wildlife, photojournalism, that is a fast camera with some really amazing features. It's also no slouch for things like video and stuff like that as well. I mean, it really is no slouch, that camera. I had some time with it, really, really loved it. It has things like the eye tracking for autofocus. And I don't mean just tracking someone's eye in the frame. I'm talking about tracking your eye to actually move the focus point, which once you've used that, sounds like a gimmick, but when you use it, let me tell you, that is a good time and a nice way to use the camera. That was an amazing, amazing piece of kit. But we also had Nikon coming out swinging with the Z9, which I think in some ways, I mean, I know that a lot of people knew that was going to be good, and I know that a lot of people were really looking forward to it, but I think it caught some people off guard by how good that camera was. I mean, the autofocus, for example, is next level. I heard a lot of people talking about how the autofocus on that camera felt like a real leap in technology, and I've got to say, that was a joy to use that camera. I'd love to get more time with it. We didn't get a huge amount of time with the Z9, same with the R3. But man, let me tell you, that Z9 was a nice camera to use, a really, really good one. But then Nikon also came out with the ZFC, which proved to be really popular because of its retro look. It was styled after older cameras. It was a really fun and nice camera to use, and it looks the part. It really, really looks great as a camera. Panasonic brought out the GH5 II. It would be very difficult to pick. You know, you've got the A1, you've got the R3, you've got the Z9. Those are three really top-end cameras. You can't go wrong with any of those, really. And you are talking about what a year for those cameras to be coming out as kind of really top end cameras. Now I'm definitely missing some cameras out, apologies to whoever I've left out there, but we're going to move on to lenses because otherwise this video is going to be 2 hours long if we talk about every single thing. There was so much. So let's jump in to talking about some lenses. Now there were loads of big lens releases. We had lenses from pretty much everyone this year, some really, really nice ones. Sony, for example, really expanded that G Master range. We had the wide angle 14mm, we had a 35mm, which I couldn't believe there wasn't already a G Master 35mm. We had the 50mm f1.2, which is a beautiful lens, and it allowed me to get this picture of myself, which I think is my favorite picture of me that was ever taken. I managed to get Matilda to take this of me, and I've used it in about 1,000 videos, so why not use it in one more? We had the 70-200 f2.8 Mark II, but it wasn't just Sony. Canon really expanded that RF range as well. So we had things like the RF100mm, the macro. We had things like the RF400 f2.8, the RF600 f4. We had that nice RF100 to 400, which is really small and compact. And of course the RF16mm as well. So they really rounded out that RF range with both higher price lenses, you know, the super pro quality ones, and then the lower price ones as well. So the 100 to 400, the 16mm, these are lower price lenses which really afford you a lot of nice ways to get good telephoto or wide angle photos with your RF camera. Of course, we had some really nice Nikon Z lenses enter into things as well. Panasonic, Fujifilm brought out some lovely XF lenses, which were really, really nice to play around with. And of course, we had lenses from Sigma and Samyang and Tamron. You know, the Sigma 150 to 600mm for Sony E mount and Panasonic L mount. Ooh, what a lens. But of course we had some great moments this year, taking photos, doing tutorials, all kinds of stuff. We really rounded out our tutorial series. We've got Tutorial Tuesday that ran throughout the year. We had our content advent calendar series that's run throughout December. Loads and loads of tutorials, whether it's editing, taking photos of different things, you can check them all out on our channel. We absolutely had a few mishaps. For example, flying the new DJI FPV drone. I flew it in a little bit of kind of light mist and I absolutely lost signal with the drone through the goggles. Took the goggles off, ran to where I thought the drone was. It was slightly over the sea. I couldn't see it. I could hear it though. I thought it had crashed into the sea, but it actually flew back over my head and landed itself from where it took off. So the safety functions work perfectly, but a super scary moment we had when I shot with the A7 IV. I was trying to shoot the kind of movie trailer thing that we made, and it was incredibly windy and it blew the tripod over, and I just caught the camera before it smashed into the ground, and it really would have smashed into basically rock. So, you know, I don't know how many A7 IVs there were around at that point. I can't imagine there were that many. I don't think Sony would have been really happy if it had smashed. So that was a scary moment for sure. I climbed on rocks in terrible weather to climb down to get photos like this, to try out this Panasonic 70 to 300mm lens. And then I couldn't climb back up and the water was coming in and it was really scary, but obviously I managed to get up in the end. But also it's been a difficult year in a lot of ways. We had lockdown at the beginning of the year. We might be going back into lockdown now. We're going to have to see what happens. But I feel like we really rallied round. I mean, for me, the comments that we've been getting in on the YouTube channel are amazing. Look, there's so many of you that put such nice comments and it means so much to me. I want you to know that I do read every single comment that comes in. They even pop up on my phone. So I'll be sitting there watching Netflix at 10 p.m. and a comment will come in, I'll see it come up. But I really appreciate every single person who comments something nice, even the ones who comment something bad. Sometimes they're really funny. But I really appreciate all the comments. I feel we've had such a nice community feel recently at this channel. And that's also spilled over with our Facebook page, with our Twitter, with Instagram. You guys submitted a lot of your own photos onto our Facebook page and the comments and stuff like that. Here's a couple that we had very recently, which I really, really liked. I'd love to know what your favorite moment of the year was, whether it was photography related, whether it was something else, anything at all. I'd love to hear some of your favorite moments, so pop them down in the comments because I'll absolutely read every single one, I promise you. Almost obsessively. So let me know, what's your favorite camera release this year? What's the most exciting camera or lens or photographic equipment you saw this year that came out? There was the kind of thing that, you know, it gives you that reaction. I'd love to know. So pop everything down in the comment. Of course, there's all the kits, the list of stuff, everything down in the description, so you can go and check that out for yourself. Loads of links to go and check out and all that kind of stuff. Don't forget to like and subscribe because absolutely, this is the end of our content advent calendar series. Sad, really. I've been kind of into it, to be honest, making these videos every day. Sometimes I make a couple in the same day. I'm not going to lie to you. I do take a day off here and there, but otherwise this has actually been really fun. But we're going to have loads of new content in January through the whole of 2022. Don't worry about that. Oh, there's loads of stuff coming. If you like Tutorial Tuesday, let me tell you, you're going to have a good time. And there's loads of new stuff coming as well. So absolutely don't forget to subscribe. But of course, until then, all that's left for me to say is, not as always, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, and also happy whatever other celebrations you might be celebrating. But also, as always, thanks for watching.